always wonderful to work on Gilbert and Sullivan operettas because they love to make fun of class, society, and different characters. They would just have their tongue in their cheek the whole time. Specifically in this show, we have the pirates. They come along, we get a big swashbuckling number right off the bat, and you think, well, these are great, wonderful, rugged pirates. But soon after that, we see the flaw in their character. They have a little tender spot in their heart, and they were orphans, and they don't really like to capture orphans, so they release them right away, which makes a big problem for piracy, shall we say, and making it pay, as they say in the show. Shortly after this, we meet our hero of the story, Frederick, who has been indentured to the pirates by our nursemaid, Ruth. And we find out quickly that he is indentured to them through his 21st birthday.
His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was alas his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot. I took and bound his promising boy, apprentice to a pirate.
And he got on the ship when he was 8, and soon we see that he hasn't been anywhere besides Rocky Coast and pirating. He hasn't seen any women. And Frederick is a very earnest man. He is, as our second title of this show, the slave of duty. He had a pact made that he was staying with the pirates till his 21st birthday, and he will do so. But after that point, he is bound to go out and exterminate them, which is a bit of a problem for the pirates, as we see.
Individually, I love you all with affection unspeakable. But collectively, I look upon you with a disgust that amounts to absolute detestation. Oh, pity me, my beloved friends.
Now, Ruth, our nursemaid, she has been with him from the beginning, and she's a bit older. Frederick is 21, Ruth is 47, and she's kind of seen that it's going to be time to get him off the ship, and she is putting her make upon our dear hero, but he hasn't seen any other women up until this point. I'm not sure how, after all these years on the ship, but he hasn't. And out of the blue, come hiking over the cliffs, are a bevy of beautiful maidens, and he discovers that Ruth has been telling a bit of a tale to him. So our ladies come hiking across the seashore and discover that they are completely alone, and decide that it would be a very risque thing for them to do to take off their shoes and roll down their stockings and paddle in the water. Very quickly, we have Frederick, our hero, come back out, and they get caught. And we see this commotion that happens about that as Frederick tries to woo the daughters. But then Mabel comes along, who is a little bit more high-strung than the rest of the daughters, and she usually gets her way. She must be the top of the social ladder for us here of the daughters. So Frederick, of course, is taken in by Mabel, and they have a little romance. We have a little number that the ladies are going to go chatter off stage on the side of the stage and talk about the weather while they closely observe Mabel and Frederick making, shall we say, love in that day, just talking.
Yes, let's talk about the weather.
So shortly, we have our pirates reappear, and the ladies are caught by them, and we have a whole scene of chaos capturing, just what you'd think. Pirates grabbing the ladies, screaming, everything else. But quickly we see that the ladies are a little bit tougher than we think, and they beat down our pirates. And we begin a bond, a relationship between them, where the very, very prim ladies have taken a like to the very bad, quote-unquote, pirates. So now we get the introduction of the Major General. Favorite of all Gilbert and Sullivan is to find someone of the highest class and really totally make fun of him. So he comes in showing his prowess that, oh yes, I'm so studied and educated, has a whole number, the very famous, I am the very model of a modern major general. And then we start the whole sequence with he and the pirates that he didn't know who they were. They are the famous pirates of Penzance. Well, that's wonderful. He's heard about them as like a celebrity meeting all of a sudden. But he, in order to get out of the bind that he's gotten in, that they're going to capture, take all his daughters away, he decides he's going to tell a little fib and say that he's an orphan, which of course is one of our key flaws of our pirates. In our second act, we come upon our major general who can't sleep any longer because he's so eaten up on the inside that he's told this fib. You just wouldn't do that as a proper gentleman in Victorian society. So we see his angst and moaning and crying about, why did I tell this lie? And his daughters come home. We're back on land. Frederick is out of his indentures, and we need some help here to conquer our pirates. So in come the police. Now the police are what you would think from the beginning, where they're going to be tough, they're going to take care of all situations, they look strong and marching and everything you would expect out of police. But shortly you discover that they're really what we would call scaredy cats. So our pirates come back to take their revenge upon hearing that they were told quite a fib by the Major General. And unfortunately, our police don't protect us as we thought they did, and a whole scene ensues, but then Ruth comes along and tells us that the pirates really aren't bad as we would think they would be. They're really peers that have gone astray. They became pirates, but they really are blue bloods themselves, and we should take them back. And so thus we do, and the Major General gives his blessing to all to be married, and everything ends up happy in the end.